We spoke last week, trying to connect the Chanuka with the Parshas, and that Chanuka is the Indian from the Kisleiv of the Or Hagonos. Chanuka is a big chiddush that there's a golus, and the golus of Chanuka is called Choshech. Chazal tells us from the very beginning of B'yis Olam. B'aretz ha'isa sayi v'avayu v'choshech al pnei sahayim. Sayi v'avayu refers to Galus Mitzrayim, Galus Bavel. Mechoshech is the Galus of Yavan. Yavan is a bavusta Galus of Choshech. And the chiddush of the Chashmonaim is that daika in the Choshech, that's where you find Or Hagonos. Meaning Or Hagonos is it's the reason why it's called Or Hagonos is because it's daika it's dafka Gonos in Choshech, and it's there to be uncovered in the Galus of Choshech and the Galus of Yavan. We also spoke about how in the Parsha, the Galus Mitzrayim also has to have this ability to be Megal the Or Hagonos, and the Or Hagonos we timed it was the Or Hagonos of Yosef HaTzadik himself. Right, Imla Tzadik Ki Tov, right? That the Or Hagonos is called Vayar Lekimis Or Ki Tov, and the Or Tzadik of Yosef, he is the Or Hagonos in Mitzrayim. So, just to be Mekasha, the Inyan invited to go weiter to talk a little bit more about Chanuka, about all the madregas that are Taman in Chanuka, and the madregas of Yosef in Mitzrayim. Again, just a little backtracking. The Or Hagonos is called the Or Ki Tov. Vayar Lekim is Or Ki Tov, right? Vayavel Lekim is Or. He's Hivdil Or Hagonos for the Tzadikim Lasav Lavai. So the Or Hagonos refers to as Tov. That's how we refer to Or. The Or Hagonos is Or Ki Tov. Yosef HaTzadik, he's in Mitzrayim, and he is this Geniza of the Or Ki Tov. The Shvatim come down to Mitzrayim, and they meet Yosef HaTzadik. They interact with him, with plenty of interaction. And a Pella, they don't recognize it's Yosef HaTzadik. How could it be that they don't recognize that's Yosef HaTzadik? So I was thinking the reason I don't recognize Yosef HaTzadik. What is Yosef HaTzadik's begin in this week's parsha? Yosef HaTzadik's begin is his Or Hagonos. Avazayvite his Or Hagonos. Of course, they're not going to recognize him because Or Hagonos, that's what he is. He's Gonos. Not going to recognize him. It says Vehem Loi Hikiruhu, right? So Loi Hikiru is Bigamachia Or Hagonos, right? In as much as Yosef HaTzadik is a begin of the tzaddik that is Gonos in the Golos, waiting to be uncovered. So if you're not Roy for Or Hagonos, you're not going to recognize Yosef. Vehem Loi Hikiru is Bigamachia Or Hagonos. What is the oifen for the Shvatim to recognize Yosef? Only after this is his spotless to Yosef, his spotless to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the oifen of being Megal Or Hagonos B'Teich L'Galus. And this is be'emes what the Chashmonaim had to accomplish in the Choshech of Galus Yavan. Galus Yavan is a ganzen Choshech, and realistically the odds of the Chashmonaim being able to be Matzliach Keneged the Yevanim was impossible, right? It wasn't just the Yevanim; it was the Gans Klal Yisrael. Kimat were Misyavnim at that point, and there was the Beis Hamikdash was Shaynechra for Kameshanim, and it just seemed to be that this would be impossible. The Hester was impossible. The only way the Chashmonaim had an ability of overcoming this Choshech would be by tapping into the Or Hagonos, but Or Hagonos is only tapped into within Gans and his Batlas. And this is what Yosef HaTzadik was requiring of the Shvatim, to be mevatel themselves to him totally, in order that they could be roy to come into a Galus and be able to be soivel the Galus with Or Hagonos, which is B'chayek Klal Yisrael in the Galus. And this is what the Chashmonaim had to come with in Ganzen his Batlas, in Ganzen Mesiras Nefesh. The point is, it's not the pshat that things were so bleak and look what happened. The pshat is that the Chashmonaim had a job. Their job was to be Megal Or Hagonos. To be Megal Or Hagonos, you have to have Ganzen his Batlas. To have Ganzen his Batlas, the odds have to be 1,000% against the person. Because if the odds are in your favor, there's any cheshbon b'derech hateva, this is going to work. So that's a steer to your isbatlas, Afazoi vayt HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Messiah of everything that is in Gans in his battles that you're going to go and take on the Yevonim in a massive where it's impossible to succeed. You're in Gans in his battle to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you're in Gans in his battle to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, does haste that now you're in a massive to be Megala or Haganas. Or Haganas is something that's Ganas with anyone that has to anyone that has an Egen Zich to himself. If you have an Egen Zich, you're not zeiche to enter into this Makam Haganiza. Where did the Chashmonaim get this koyach to taka have the wherewithal to enter this world of Inganz and Hispatos HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and even though the Choshech was mamish in Gans and Choshech, they were able to latch on to this koyach, this bitachon HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you mentioned last week that every golus HaKadosh Baruch Hu is zareya first the tzaddik in the golus. The tzaddik who is the midah of the tzaddik is the midah of Imla Tzaddik Toiv, which the Tzaddik is the representation of our Haganas. We said in Mitzrayim it's Yosef HaTzaddik. Everyone that labels a Tzaddik. In Bavel it's Mordechai HaTzaddik, and in Galus Yavon it's Shimon HaTzaddik. Okay, Mordechai, Yosef, and Shimon HaTzaddik. These are our Haganas. Imla Tzaddik Toiv. Toiv is our Haganas, and they are the ones that are giving the Koyach of Klal Yisrael to uncover the army Teich the Choshech. Who was Shimon HaTzaddik? Shimon HaTzaddik was a Kohen Gadol, and the Chashmonaim were his descendants. But with Shimon HaTzaddik, more importantly, Shimon HaTzaddik was Mishiari Anshe Knesset HaGedolah. What was the side of the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah? Anshe Knesset HaGedolah, to Gzakting Mar Numa, Shechzir Atar Liyashna. Shechzir Atar Liyashna is a teich that the Gemara tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu said in the Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Gadol Gibor and Noira, and came along Yirmiyahu and said, how can we say HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Gibor? Right? You have V'azoi that the Goyim are Mekarkin Behechol Ayig V'raisav. The Neo left out Noira that the Yisrael Meshubet Beina Umois Ayig Noiraisav. What do we mean there? They Mesadish Shmein Esrei, Hakel, Hagadol, Hagibar Neira, not a kasha. What did they say? They said Adirabba, right? Hein hein Gvuraisav, hein hein Neiraisav. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu is showing his Gvura by withholding the Midas Hadin. Thus is the Grestek Gvura. Gibar Kavish is Yitzra. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is being Kavish as Yetzer. Ayin Noiraisav, Hein Hein Noiraisav, that Adarab, Klal Yisrael is Beinu Umais, and Afal Pikein, they survive Beinu Umais. That's Hein Hein Noiraisav. Right, the Ramchal in Das Tfunis, he speaks it out so beautifully. Right, the Taich of HaKadosh Baruch Hu being Soivel, the Ra in the Welt, is the Taich that Hagufa. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so undisputed Achdus, so undisputed Melech, he doesn't have to devise anything. If I'm a Rebbe and someone's acting up in class, so it's cutting into my shlita, and my shayla, what's going to be next? But if I was Zoyvite, that there's nothing that's be'emes steer to me, and I'm perfectly comfortable with my position, I don't have to show anything. The steers to my mouth is not a problem. Hagufa, from the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is soivel, that bevises HaKadosh Baruch Hu's gedula, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's gvura, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's midas hanoira. Having Shimon HaTzaddik, the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah, stelling avek, this cook, the pneumius of the Welt, that the Welt looks dark. There's Mekarkin Behecha, and you see HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the Goyim Mekarkin Behecha, you see Klal Yisrael Mamish, that in Nishtabim Beinu Umais, and Afal Pikein, you see Hein Hein Noiraisav. This is the midah that the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah stelled avek in Klal Yisrael Mishmein Esrei. And they stelled it avek in the Chashmonaim, and in Meir the Chashmonaim had this Or Hagonas of Gadol, Gibor, and Noira in the Choshech of Yavan, and they were able to uncover the Hagonas. Interesting, the lashon of the Bnei Yissaschar in his L'Shemichud. He says, "Shemichud she'her lamavis nashim, lemad kavod shmoi hagadol hagibur v'hanoira." Right? The Hal Shimcha Gadol steht in Al Hanisim. Bnei Yisrael insists Asher Lamavis Nafsha Man Shmoy HaGadol Hagiv VaHanoira, because the Stava, this is what he means, that the pnimius of the avodah, the Her Lamavis Nafsha, was they had to be talking of Shimon Tzaddik Achines HaGadolah, that they knew Hein V'Roisav Hein Nairosav the Chayshach not a stira. Adrab in the Chayshach is Mustar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the Chayshach is only a Hechet Timsa for us to understand that Ein Levadi is only a Kadosh Baruch Hu. The Maharsha asked an amazing kasha. Kasha says a gewaltige word just on the lashon of the Shemon Esrei. Akel Hagadol Gibor VaHanoira. He says Yirmiyah had a problem with Gibor, with the lashon of Gibor. Daniel had a problem with the lashon of Noira. No one had a problem with the lashon of Gadol. Gadol is mitzvah chesed. He says, "Nachem or mekarken behechel ayich chasadecha." You saw him in Shuvah Bein Umas ayich chasadecha. That's aggressive stira to Gadol. Zakne Maharsha, he says no. Mitzvah chesed HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always apparent. It's the avelt. Kadosh Baruch Hu Bereishis bara lekivas hashmai b'sar. Kadosh Baruch Hu made a velt. A velt is just screaming chesed Hashem. Olam chesed yibon, it's a ganzen chesed that we could be here, even if a person could just breathe one breath in Olam hazeh. That's the chesed. No one had any shaila whether Kadosh Baruch Hu's mitzvah chesed is not clear. Mitzvah chesed is 100% clear, no matter what the matzav is. Das is chesed. It's the velt. It could be Dovid to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Who's going to deny? The shaila is in the lashon of Gibor and Ner. These are mitzvahs of Kadosh Baruch Hu that apparently you would think would be mitzamtzim. The round the velt. Midas chesed is his pashtus. The chesed is every place, wherever you look. Midas agvura is mitzamtzim. There's ra. Daf mitzamtzim is on the ra. There's no tzimtzum ra. Where ayigvura secha, Teretz his name. It's not a steer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu tzimtzum ra, because the ra is. Daf is how to say the word, but it's not a steer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's midas agvura, because Hagufa say it azay. The ezeu gibra HaKadosh Yisrael HaKadosh is mitzamtzim the midas agvura. Thus is the rest of gvura. The Eisver, when you nach we say Akel Agadol Gibor VaHanoira, we say HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Goyim El Chasad M'Tovim. Goyim El Chasad M'Tovim sounds like good fun goods, right? Aber be'emes nach dem Goyim El Chasad M'Tovim is the tight also. The Hester is also Chasad M'Tovim. I was thinking Chanuka is Begamatcha Chesed Tov. Right, that the Hester of Chanuka was to find the Chesed, the Or HaGonis, in the Chayshach, Chaim Chasad Tovim, is that Kadosh Baruch Hu gives you the ability to see the Chesed Tov in everything. Once upon a time during Shemon Esrei, I was thinking about Vivite Gate Chaim Chasad Tovim. You think Chaim Chasad Tovim, you say, Baruch Hashem, I'm standing in front of the Malch Malchem Lachem Kadosh Baruch Hu. Zah Chesed. Right, I had breakfast this morning, I had lunch this morning. In God's chesed, but I was thinking the chesed doesn't stop there, right? I had breakfast yesterday, right? I had breakfast last year, and I started making a long trip back to see where does this chesed begin? Where does that? Why do you go when you express Goyim Chasad Tovim? So I went back to having my first children, getting married, bar mitzvah. Then I realized. Being born, my parents being born, and I was going on a trip back with my elder Zaydas by the Rishayim in the Beis Hamikdash. He ended up going back to the Bayis Rishon, and all these. I'm only here because of all the chesed that Kadosh Baruch Hu did all these people to get me here. And before I knew it, by the Avos, and before I know it, by other Barishon, and before you know it, by Bereshis Bara Lakim B'Shvei Yisrael Shadik Bereshis. And Mazak Goyim El Chasad Tovim, that Kadosh Baruch Hu had me in mind to be here when he was buried the Olam, and all of a sudden Yichap was meant us B'Shvili Nivra Olam, that the ganze Welt is be'emes. I would not be here if not for the fact that you solve all machshava. And a person can stand in Shemon Esrei and say Yashkoyach HaKadosh Baruch Hu, feels total sense of appreciation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he's Goyim El Chasad Tovim, that Yisrael is all of machshava. Just to say a famous verse from Rebbe Rab Heschel, just to bring out the inyan of to connect the again, we're saying that the Chashmonaim, the whole ability to overcome the Chayshach with the Milchama, the Inyan from the Araganas, and the isphere of all this Emunah and uncovering of the Araganas is the Avodas HaMenorah, and it's Mamish Tzumzach, the Avodas HaMenorah, the Ar HaMenorah is clear, the Ar HaMenorah is the Inyan from the Araganas. And the tzaddikim say it, the tzaddikim see it in their menorahs even nowadays. But just to say a nice verse from the Rebbe Heschel, a very well known word. Pasuk about Leischa says, "Vayaskin Aaron," that Aaron HaKohen he did kashitziv Hashem as Moshe. Zok Rashi, Malamet Shleishina. What's meant as Vayaskin Aaron, the Malamet Shleishina? What's it have mean to be Mishana? So the Rebbe Heschel says the following. By every day in Brias Ha'olam of the Sheshim Meir state when HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the Bria that day, it says Vayichen. There's one day it doesn't say Vayichen. The first day it says Vayar Elokim Vayar Elokim Esar Ki Yitav Vayavdel, and it doesn't say at the end of the Brias Ha'ar Vayichen. Zok the Rebbe Heschel, why not? Because the Baal HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to use the Ar L'Tzadik L'Asa Lavai, so it wasn't Vayichen. So Meir steht nicht Vayichen. Das was steht Vayas Kein Aaron in der Avodas HaMenorah hat weggestellt the Kein for the Brias Ha'olam. Vayas Kein Aaron jetzt is the Ar HaGodes. The Tzadikim L'Asa Lavai was for the Menorah in the Beis HaMikdash. The whole Inyan for the Menorah is the Inyan of Megala, the Ar HaGodes from the Bria, the Ar HaTayv, from the very beginning of the Bria. And this is why it's so tzugapas that when the Chashmonaim are Ma'aseh Nefesh to uncover the Araganas, which is Nitman in them from Shimon Atzav Yashnes HaGedolah, that they're able to uncover that Ar Haganas and see Mitach the Hester, and they're able to see Bechush Agabe Menorah in the Nes HaMenorah. We learn every day on Chanuka the Parshas HaNesim. And there's a beautiful vart I saw in the Kedushas Tzion that also brings out this inyan of Ar Haganas, the inyan of, we'll say that I'll call it Ar Haganas. Let's just take a just be marchiv. What's Ar Haganas? Ar Haganas is be'emes the ratzon hapnimi of every yid. That's what Ar Haganas is. Every yid. Why would it be on the menorah? Why would the Ar Haganas be attack on the menorah? So the famous Baal Tanya of the state, what is the Ar Haner? Ar Haner, it's always jumping up. What's that? Because Ar Haner has this cheshik to connect back to its shirish. The shirish of all Eish is the Olam HaRuchni, and the Ar Haner is trying to jump off the candle. That's why it wants to reconnect to its shirish. So the inyan of Ar Haganas, Ar Haner, this is the inyan of a ratzon hapnimi to be davik in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is the pintala in every yid that wants to be davik in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So whenever you talk about ratzon hapnimi of a yid, this is the nekud of Ar Haganas that every yid has inside of them. The emphasis that Ar Haganas is we said Yosef is the b'chin of Ar Haganas. Yosef HaTzadik is the b'chin of Bris Milah. He's Midas HaYisai, which is in from Bris Milah. And that's why when Yosef is Megala himself, talking to his brothers, he's Herolem Shumol. Because you didn't recognize who I was. You know why you didn't recognize? Because it's Chavis yes, it's Chavis Patlas. Now you can see the Ar Haganas, and you should, if a Herolem Shumol, that's the Indian from Bris. On Chanuka, we like Lamed Vav Neiris. Lamed Vav Neiris is Lamed Vav Pam Toiv. Lamed Vav Pam Toiv is B'Gavat Bris. The Indian from Ar Haganas is, the Indian of Chanuka is Migal, the Indian from Bris, the Indian of Ratzon. Because what is Bris? Bris is something that advises a Ratzon every year to be Davak the Kadosh Baruch Hu. The Yevanim L'chayr, they were here to be master Ar Haganas. They weren't here to kill Yidden. They wanted to be master Ar Haganas. And the Gezeris were Pinklach. Bris Milah, which is Ar Haganas. Bris Shabbos is Matana Tavi Yeshli Beis Genazai. Sounds like Ar Haganas to me. And Chaydish is not as obviously Ar Haganas, but Chaydish is in the Pintala in Mitaych L'chayshach that his chachos of a new ischach Mitaych Pintala of Ar. And this is what the Yevanim were coming to undo, and this is what the Chashmonaim were uncovering this Ar Haganas. Just so, Ratzon HaPnimi is the inyan of Ar Haganas. Any time a person finds inside himself a pneumius of his to be Dovid to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is even for Argon. So it's just a beautiful pshat. We'll theorize with this from the Kedusha Tziyun brings down on the laning of Chanuka. The pasuk tells us that kaf achas asar zav melei ketayos. So like the Rashi from Rav Moshe Darshan, kaf achas is Yodesh HaKadosh Baruch Hu, asar zav is Keneged Aser Sedivros, melei ketayos. Ketayos is a big matria taryag. If you mahapich the ad bash the kuf of ketayos with a dalid, right? So then it's big matria taryag. Look at the Kedusha Tziyun Azeh. What's the pshat in this remez of a kuf and a dal being mishapich to get the taryag? So he says the following. Gemara Neivim brings down the famous machlekes Beishame Beis Hillel, whether noich lo'lam mishanivra or mishalei nivra. Right? Is a person better off being created, not being created? They argue about it many years. Right? Nimnu v'gomer noich lo'lam mishalei nivra mishanivra. It's better off you're not created. Vasep is better if not created. Zok to Marsha, Nimnu v'gomer. They made a cheshbon. There's 365 loisasei, so you have 365 ifanim to be neufel. You have Ramach mitzvasei. You only have 48 ways to go positive. So Nimnu v'gomer, make a cheshbon. You carve lahefsid rachik min aschar. It's noach leishalei nivra. The odds are not in your favor. Zok the Kedusha Tziyun brings down the Rebbe of Shmelka. And he says, yeah, and the chitzonius of the Welt is noich lo'lam shloi nivra. Because the chitzonius of the Welt is shasat and ramach. However, every mitzvah say, has a mile of a mitzvah loisa say. Because chashav adam lasas haver v'lo yasa. It's not mal of kilasa. Because rotzen for naveir is not mitztarf l'maisa. However, every mitzvah say, the rotzen is chashav l'maisa. Every time you do a mitzvah, your rotzen is to do the mitzvah. If you want a rotzen for that mitzvah, and you have a ma'isa mitzvah. So the mitzvah is two mitzvahs. So Ramach is no longer Ramach. Ramach is two times Ramach. So Mela, if achsha sheniver yifashvesh b'ma'isa is the taich. If you mefashvesh in the pneumius of your ma'isa and you get your rotzen ignited for the mitzvah, every mitzvah is two. So yifashvesh and your ma'isa makes it noach lo'iniver. It's not yifashvesh ma'isa. It's nebuch is noach lo'iniver. No, if you yifashvesh and your ma'isa, it's noach lo'iniver because now it's nimnu v'gomer in your favor. Comes along the teacher saying it says a beautiful remez. He says when you a ketayres when you mahapich the kuf with a dalid, he says when you write kuf and dalid out, dalid is spelled dalid lamed taf, and kuf is spelled kuf alfei. And afkamina between Dal Lamatov 434 and 186 is Ramach. Is being Maram is that in Taryag is Toman another Ramach, which makes it Nach Adam Shenivra. So Bekitza, this is the avoid of Chanuka. The avoid of Chanuka is not being nispoil from the Hester, recognizing that the Hester is only a hechatimsa for our agonis, because if there wouldn't be Hester, it wouldn't be our agonis. We'd be in Olam Haba, right? Hester is hechatimsa. Oh, it's a Hester. I know there's gon. Now I know there's our agonis over here. And the chayshich is hechatimsa for Yidden who be ma'isa nefesh and bring out the our agonis. And with this, we'll have the Aragonis inside of us, the tremendous ratzon that we naturally have, that we have. The Dovid HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as the Baal Tanya explains, will naturally be inflamed. The Taka be Zoichet be as Goyal Tzedek Meir.